My hospital experience was the worst.
I will never go back to that hospital again. I hated it so much.
The umbilical cord was cut and they came and they laid him on my chest, and I just got to lay there for a little bit with him, and he was just so beautiful.
So as soon as I had him, they immediately took him away, so I didn't get a chance to hold him.
Right after he was born, the doctors took him to the table, cleaned him up, and then gave him to the adoptive mother to show the adoptive father.
Out of everybody who was at the hospital, my parents, my brother, the adoptive couple, I was the last one to hold the baby. And it breaks my heart.
It was tough because I never gave myself the chance to bond.
And I really, at the last minute, wanted to just keep him because he was part of me.
I wanted to bring him home and I wanted to love him.
And I thought I would do anything in the world to keep her.
The hardest moment definitely was walking out of the hospital without a baby.
Going home from the hospital, you just feel empty and alone.
But I remember walking with the flowers that my parents gave me, looking down and thinking to myself, flowers shouldn't be in the place of my son.
I decided that I would take the baby home with me for 3 days after I get out of the hospital so that I could have my time with the baby.
It did make it a lot harder, I think, to bring him home and have that bonding time and have them just go home with him, but at the same time I wouldn't give up that experience for anything.
The entrustment service was very hard.
But it was painful. I think I cried the whole time. I didn't know how to give her, like place her into someone else's arms.
And I think it was really important for me to be able to place him in Denise's arms.
It was like a marriage between two families.
There was a shift of power, which needed to be done, I think.
And we just cried and prayed over her.
The hardest part of the entrustment service was leaving and being empty.
I just hoped and prayed that they would give him the life that I couldn't give him.
Writing a Dear Baby letter, writing a letter would have made it too real, and I wasn't ready for it to be real.
I'm not that kind of person to write a dear baby letter or have ceremonies.
I don't know how to start it. I don't know what to say except, I love you.
I want him to know I love him and that I didn't do it because he was unwanted.
It was good to tell Caleb all my feelings and why I placed him.
Reading that letter is how they're going to see you until they meet you.
The 10 days where I could have gotten him back at any time, that was a really hard time too.
And for them, every time the phone rings, it's got to be a little heart attack. You know, is this the call that's going to take her away from us?
The 10th day was, I never want to relive that day. It was horrible.
Like, oh, okay, this is the last day. Am I sure this is what I want to do?
Because I knew I'd made the right decision, but knowing that that was the last day to change my mind, it was really conflicting. Because it was like, well, maybe I made the wrong decision. And it was tough.
Like, logically, this was the right thing to do for myself, for my child, but it still hurt a lot.
The visits I did have with the family within the first 3 months, they were great. Here I saw a perfect situation where the family bonded with their son.
I gave her the opportunity for a good life, which is the most important thing to me.
The hard days for me were right after I placed, and I didn't want to do any grieving.
I just basically kept it to myself and grieved on my own.
I coped through the pregnancy by absolutely shutting everyone out of my life.
I didn't get out of bed. I cried a lot.
But I remember going home and crying for maybe 10 minutes with my mom. And then after that, it wasn't really talked about.
So for the first little while, it was a really big jumble of hormones. elation and depression for just having lost a child.
I just went through 9 months of hell. For what?
I'm angry that I wasn't ready at 23.
I made myself feel nothing for him for a long time.
I just feel like I'm the black sheep now. I didn't turn out the way I was supposed to.
To a mother who thinks that if they're placing a baby for it to be over, it's not going to be over, because that child's a part of your life, and a part of your mind and a part of your soul is connected to that child.
Kind of after I had placed Caleb and worked through those intense grief periods, I just hit a point where I went into depression.
There was kind of a hole in my heart, I guess, and it's like I felt like I gave away a part of myself.
I just filled my life up, trying to forget everything.
So I would jump into a whole bunch of different relationships to try and kind of fill that loneliness that I was feeling, or just going out and hanging out with friends or going to parties, and I would just kind of fill my life with that so I didn't have to feel that emptiness.
I turned to drinking a lot, partying a lot.
And sleeping around.
It was a party life.
It was a wrong thing driving me.
I was given the advice that grieving is natural and it's normal. It's something that a birth mother should do after going through with an adoption.
It was a really slow process for me. It took me a while to understand what grief even looked like.
I've had my really bad days. I've let myself have my feelings.
I don't know where I would be if I had not grieved the loss of my daughter.
You know, it's been 7 years and I still cry, which is a good thing.
And it's important that you be able to sort those feelings out, because just to repress them, I mean, it's treacherous. It's nothing but bad news if you do that. They need to come out one way or another.
And probably the biggest person that I had to forgive was myself.
Like, even to this day, there's still things that I am still dealing with, even though I have come to like a really great place.
That I acknowledge that I'm having a hard time and just go back and deal with it. It gets a lot easier, but I don't think it ever goes away.
It definitely brought my family closer too, especially for my mom to be able to work through that grief at the same time. There was a lot of bonding that happened between me and my mom.
I do what's best for me now and my family, instead of what I think the world expects me to do or what the easy way is.
I know that I can handle rough things now and survive it.
And the joy for myself of just knowing who I am and that I'm a stronger person through this process.
Now seeing him grow up and seeing him happy and knowing that he's where he's supposed to be.
I have children now, and I think I appreciate them that much more because of the adoption.
Watching my children grow up in families that love them, and you know, they get what they need and they're loved.
I know in my heart that it's still the right place for him to be.
She's not a mistake. I will never be sorry that I had her.
Yeah, I was ashamed for pushing for an abortion at the beginning. I'm so proud of the decisions that we've made, and I'm so proud of the little girl that we have that I couldn't imagine the world without her in it.
Being a birth mother was the best thing that I ever did.
Well done. Well done.
Even though they might not say it to your face, somewhere in them they'd be thanking you. You did a good thing for me, Mom.